Hi everyone, what are we doing today? I said on my last video that I'm going to honor a friend who passed. Um, Her name was Francesca. I knew her as Fran. She was a wonderful lady at my church. And I want to show you what I usually do in my private journal, uh, because I will not be able to attend her service. Um, I thought I would honor her in this way. Um, what I do is, first off, I am going to make a border just because I think I might want to have it hang out over the border. So I'm going to make a small border in here. I might put a background behind. We'll see. And then so I just wrote the word Fran, very lightly in cursive on my page. It's not a capital F. Yes, I know. And then I'm going to do feathering. So let me do this size. It's a small pen. It's an 02 pen that I'm working with. We're just going to go like that. And I'm going to feather these words. If you don't know the feathering technique, it's easy. I'm going to start up here. Just going to feather. Just like that. I'm going to do that on all of the spots. And that's all there is to it. But if I was going to her service, this would be what I would be doing during her memorial. This is what I've done for multiple people, how I remember them. Share a little bit about Fran with you guys. She was a founding member of our church. She was our last founding member. All the others have passed. So it's sort of the end of an era. She and her husband were wonderful people. Down to earth. She served as a deacon and an elder during her time, I believe. And she was just the sweetest lady. Just loved everybody. So generous with her time and her talents. One of our church members thought of her as a second mom, you know. She was that kind of lady. after her husband passed, her kids convinced her to move closer to them, so she moved away, so we haven't physically seen her in a while. Some have gone to visit her, and we've stayed in touch on, she was good on Facebook. As a matter of fact, she passed right after Easter, and she sent us all an Easter blessing on Facebook, so she was with it right up to the end. Let's go this way. Like I said, when I have a memorial service, I do this. I put the person's name on a page, and I just feather and just feel them. I feel their spirit as I'm drawing. And then I'll embellish. Somewhere along the way I'll embellish. This is another one of those super easy things to do, like the last video on Friday, with just lines and contour lines. Feathering is another one of those things that you can just do to fill in a space. And it's so pretty and elegant. Reminds me of like Art Deco. Which direction do I want to go with this? I think I want to go this way. I keep going with this. Like that. I want one in here. Maybe continue this. Yeah. Like that. And then, am I done? that for my loops. And then these bits. Like that. Maybe here. That. All right, I like that. There we go. There's Fran. Let's give her. Do I want to give her a black background? I think I do. Let's go in here and draw that box that I had. Something like that. Okay. Then in here, I need to aura that because I still want to see that shape. Okay. Then this one goes like that. And like this. Like that. Like that. Not sure about what's going on in there. This will go like that. This will go like that. Okay, now I can fill in with a bit bigger of a pen. Let's use this one. This is the new black liner round that I have from Molotow. Molotow? Molotow. I don't know how you say it. Not sure I've ever heard anybody pronounce it. But it should be easy to color with. It's a little bit harder than a brush pen. So it keeps a nice sharp nib. That's cool. But it's nice and thick, so it should be easy to color with. Or maybe I want to use my brush pen in here. Perhaps. Because the brush pen would be faster. Let me switch. Maybe we'll go back and forth between the two. brush just is so nice. Just doing this gives me a little bit more control over where that brush goes, because sometimes the brush can just decide to do things on its own that it shouldn't. Look how lovely that brush pen works. And as I'm working, I'm thinking about Fran. I hear her voice in my head. I don't know how old she was. But she treated everybody, almost everybody in the church, because she was probably our, well, I don't know that she was our oldest member, but she was pretty dang close when we first started attending. She and another couple, they both, I believe, were married in similar years, very close to one another. They were both the oldest. There was one time we did a thing where we honored the married couples in our congregation. I did a slideshow with everybody's wedding pictures. That was fun. It was fun to see everybody's wedding pictures. And I believe Fran and Ray were married sometime during World War II. I know that Flo and Ed were, because their wedding photo had him in his uniform. Flo and Ed knew each other like 3 days before they got married. That was a crazy time. I've heard of those whirlwind marriage things during the war. And Ed and Flo are one of those couples that had met at some sort of like USO show or something. Dance, when they did those dances. Flo was, I believe she was either a musician or she had gone to be somebody to dance with the soldiers, and they met. They liked each other. A few days later, they get married just before he shipped out, and they were together their whole lives. Amazing story. Ray and Fran were similar to that. They met when they were youngsters. I know Ray was also in the service, because I remember pictures of that too, when we asked everybody to give us their military pictures to honor them for a Veterans Day celebration. So I remember Ray, I believe Ray was I want to say I could be wrong. I could be mixing him up with somebody else, but I want to say he was a radio operator in the Navy? That's what I want to say. I don't know if I'm accurate. I could be mixing him up with somebody else. It's been a long time since I saw those pictures. But I clearly see a picture of Ray. I believe he's sitting at a radio operator's desk. But anyway, so I believe she's got to have been in her 90s when she passed. I don't think she was up to 100 because I think her family would have celebrated. We would have known. We would have had a big old party for that. Even if it was at a distance, we would have celebrated her. But anyway, like I said, this is the type of thing I would do at her memorial service as I was sitting in the congregation, listening out to all the wonderful things, probably having a slideshow about her life, and listening to all the wonderful things about her and Ray and the kids and how she just like adopted people. She adopted my husband like one of her own. She adopted one of our other friends, Debbie, as one of her own. She's just a wonderful lady. Even though I haven't seen her physically in a very long time, I know that she will be missed. But I also know that she was looking forward to the day where she could reunite with Ray in heaven, and I hope that that's the celebration she and Ray had the moment she passed. That's the hope we held on to, right? That our loved ones are there to welcome us and greet us when we pass over to the other side. Okay, one more bit of background, and I think we will be done with Fran's do I want to... I can see that box. I don't want to see the box. Do we want to put a little bit of graphite? I think so. Yes. A little bit here. Where those all kind of come to the feathering comes to the bottom, to the middle. It's like, and then maybe here where this overlaps. Like that. Like that. And then in here. Here. Okay. I could shade every single one of these petals, but I don't think I'm going to. But I'm going to make sure that this blends out really well. So I'm using my bigger blending stump. Oh, I should do where this overlaps here. Should I highlight with... I feel like I should highlight, but not with pink. But when I think of Fran, I think of blue as her color. She must have wore a lot of blue at church because blue just comes to mind as her color. I think I want a light blue. Let me find my pencils. Yeah, that's a heavy box of pencils. Let me find a beautiful... This looks like a Fran blue. That looks like a Fran blue. When I think of Fran, that's the blue I think of. Don't know why. Oop. Oh, come on. Which way does this open? Why does my pencil sharpener not want to open? There we go. Okay. The blue is going to be kind of like my highlight color. Just like that. Yep, just a little bit of blue to say, here, this is your color there, Fran. Just a quick highlight with this blue. Wrong pen. Don't want to sign with the big fat one. There we go. There's Fran. I love it. That made me happy and it gave me time to reflect on Fran and her life. And I love it. All right, you guys have a great day. I will see you guys on the next video, whenever that will happen to be. Go out and do something nice for someone today. Make the world a better place, one person at a time. And I will see you later. Bye-bye.